Do you know where you are going? Do you know where you are going? Do you know where you are going? Do you know where you are going?
Salutations and good vibrations, family. I hope all is doing well. Welcome to another session of Tassetti's Soul Family Conversation, where we discuss decision making, our cognitive thinking, our history and culture, traditions, understanding our path forward, and our decision making to become one people into moving into our divine destiny. As we move forward in this construct we call the United States, a fabricated society that you must understand to its core to be able to prosper and move forward. If not, there are many traps and gatekeepers who are after your person. Life moves at a fast pace, and you must be cognitive and aware of what's going on and be conscious in present time so that you have a particular awareness of what's going on around you, within you, and above you. Much of our history, many of us have forgotten or were never told or never knew that there were Africans here before the Europeans arrived, before the Native Americans came over the Bering Strait from Russia. We were here. We were living in the southeast of America. We were displaced through social engineering and placed on the outer islands and sent to other parts of South America so that we would not be in our own homeland, but some survived. To further your studies on this, you can check on the history and culture of the Amerindians. You will see Native Americans with afros. Well, before we get started in today's topic, I'd like to welcome and say thank you to our sustaining members, those who are permanently in the Tassetti family and have subscribed and been with us since the inception of the channel. I thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I would also like to say thank you to the visitors who are passing through and happen to stumble upon the Tassetti Kingdom. And what we talk about here deals with our history and culture, and not that we hate anyone, but we love ourselves. Sometimes you must not like what's in a person, not the person themselves. And many of us have been taught by a system and programmed to think the way we think. And this channel is to challenge those thoughts. And last but not least, I would like to thank the new members who have subscribed and are now part of the Tassetti family, and would like to thank you and welcome you to become part of the foundation of what we do here, understanding who we are, where we come from, our history and culture, from here back to Kemet, understanding that we touched every continent on this planet, and understanding that at one time we were the only people here. Today's topic is dealing with the 7 pillars of a society, in which we would discuss each one to give a clearer understanding, to use our cognitive thinking, profound thinking, and decision making to understand what we're dealing with here. When dealing with a society and trying to construct something that most people call civilization, which we invented thousands and hundreds of thousands of years ago, you must have foundations in which you build your society on, and structures of industries in which you control to manage and manipulate and social construct the society in which your people will live. Understanding that we were here before civilization arrived from Europe, we had already constructed a society here in the Mississippi Valley Basin, as well as in the southeast and east of the United States. So for the societies to continue here, they had to deconstruct and remove all of the people that were here before they can institute and initiate and install their society of the construct we live in now, which is their fabricated, instituted matrix or construct. This society is built on the rules that balance the levels of power through naturalization. This society is not benefiting majority of the native or African people. We live in a tribal society, which we live in neighborhoods and villages in which we interconnect and work together as one unit. This society is built to break down those neighborhoods and industries and cause us to compete against each other so that you do not unify. And the only unification is under the banner of this construct, which helps the people that built it. Anyone else cannot unify. Everyone else is subordinate to the system they create, which benefits their societies. This is also a society that is built to retrieve and take the inventions, ideas, and creativity of other people. For those who have created this industry can apply monetary value and create it in mass quantities and not compensate those in which they stole the ideas. And many without the society would not be able to compete with the natural people and with the indigenous or African people's creativity on an equal and level playing field because the competition would be too great. They need this system to give them the advantage to keep things balanced, because either way, they are still black millionaires and billionaires. The first pillar we're going to discuss today is the pillar of government. We understand the importance of having government, which gives organization and structure to a society by putting down laws and rules so the people can be governed equally under the Constitution or agreed upon laws of amendment. But many of us tend to forget that this breaks down not only nationally with a national government, it also breaks down into states, counties, cities, and towns, in which you must also have these governing bodies, which are judges, the legal system, and the police force. Now, understanding how this works, the laws, which are on paper and documentation, is only effective by those implementing that information. That information is only effective by the righteousness of the people who are initiating those terms. So if the people are unjust, then the laws they enforce would be for an unjust purpose. And as you look throughout history, majority of the laws are not built to promote or ascend people. It is not built for people to prosper. Majority of the laws created are built to hinder people, to separate certain people, and to not give prosperity to all. So when it comes to a government that is unjust, it is built to hinder those it does not want to prosper, to maintain that workforce in which they need that labor to receive the benefits of the monetary gains that they achieve through their companies and government industries. In many cases, the United States claimed to be a world-class democracy. But to be completely honest, there is no government that is built to apply law equally to all people, not one. So, for them to prosper and benefit, for those to prosper and benefit from this society, they need this system, because competing on a one-to-one basis, the black people or the African descendants would not be the underclass for long. And this is one of the major fears of this society. Those that are in charge and implement this system understand that on a one-to-one basis, and them as also a working class, many will become the permanent working class. For the conclusion of this pillar, the understanding that a system is built to keep certain people in certain positions of class in a society. This is understood to be a benefit and product of the construct. They promote this and install and institute this so that they could control those others in their society who would naturally rise above them. But because of this system, they can maintain superiority in the rules and laws they institute to separate, marginalize, and seclude those who would rise. Now, moving on to our second pillar, of a society, which is business. Business is the lifeblood of communities, towns, cities, and the nation at large. But business is secondary and regulated by the rules and laws of the government. That government institute rules and laws to those businesses in which they tend to operate under, to separate and segregate certain people so that certain jobs of authority, positions of supervision, management, CEOs of company, those who are the decision-making industries are given to those which are part of the construct first, and the subordinates and working class and labor is given to the underclass. This is a secondary part of working a pillar of business. The primary goal is to get the money to those people that are part of the construct. The subordinates will continually be applied the labor and giving positions of subordinate unless you institute the laws of the Jim Crow or Willie Lynch letter, which says 10% of many of us will be let through the gatekeepers, which are in certain areas of prestige, if we are continuing to do their bidding and to promote the construct as it is and do not try to change the system and make it more equal or balanced. It is understood that governments and business is an unbalanced industry benefiting those who created the construct. When you look at the industry of business, this is a wide range of jobs and different types of employment, which goes from land-based to digital. Items you have to touch and manually apply labor to that which you only use voice or touching keys on a keyboard. Many are automated now, which is taking jobs from certain industries in which certain people are claiming that it's the immigrants who are taking the jobs. No, they are being automated by business to apply pressure to those people who can't participate or compete in the new industries. So their purpose of claiming that the immigrants are taking their jobs is because they are not skilled enough to move into the new ranks of the new positions of the new created industries. And they want to take the jobs of the immigrant because it is an unqualified new age position. They want to maintain their societies by working the older jobs. Well, this concludes part 1. Let's continue in part 2, where we will move on to entertainment and media. Thank you for listening to Pharaoh J. Tassetti.